I take care of the membership and all the marketing here at the Fredericton Chamber. I want to welcome you today, and I know this is going to be a great day. I think you all are, but if you haven't, I would ask that you kindly mute yourself so we don't have any background noise. That would be great. If you have any questions along the way, Angelique is happy to answer them, whether she does it during or at the very end. But you can add your questions to the chat at the bottom, and she'll be happily to do that. And the last piece I just want to give a little housekeeping before we jump in is that this webinar is recorded, so you'll be able to watch it again by accessing it on our website. It'll also go out on social media, so it's always a great reference tool as well. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Angelique for those of you who haven't been on one of her previous webinars with her. She's awesome. So today we're doing the power of Facebook ads and retargeting tactics. Become a content marketing rock star and learn how to create a Facebook and Instagram strategy that drives more visitors, leads, and sales on a regular basis. Join Angelique of Social Media Love for our webinar. Angelique's mission is to help women entrepreneurs unleash their inner rock star online and leverage paid traffic to grow your business on social media. And if you haven't followed Angelique yet, please do so. She's got some great tips and tricks, etc., on Facebook and also on YouTube. So look her up and start following her. And she also publishes weekly video tutorials on YouTube. So Angelique, I will pass the torch over to you.
Thank you so much for the great energy. I'm so excited. And I know it's nice outside, and but it's good to take some time to grow your garden online as well. So I love the analogy because I built the webinar around gardening. That's so cool. Okay, so before we dive in, I'm going to share my screen, present, and you're going to tell me if you see everything the way you should see it. Can you see my screen? Did I lose you? Ooh. Could you see my screen? Share screen. Nope. Okay, let's try that again. What do you see now?
We see your screen.
Oh, okay. Present. Okay, that's not.
There we go.
I want to show you. Okay, I just need. Stop sharing. Give me a sec. It all. Okay, here we go. Now I see. I couldn't see you anymore. Okay, now I need to share again. Where are you? I lost you. Oh my God. Sorry.
That's okay.
Share. Okay. Canva. Here we go. In case you're wondering what I use to do my presentation, I use Canva. I don't know if there are any other Canva fans here.
Canva is great.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Okay. So as I'm going to be introducing kind of what we do, I would invite you, because we're always in a rush, I find at the end. I want to continue the conversation with you. We're going to be talking about conversation, how to be social on social media while using organic and paid traffic so that you can continuously attract new people to your ecosystem, people that are going to become raving fans of yours through conversation, trust, love, and become your customers. So what you can do, if you're watching on desktop, you can just open your camera on your phone, and this is gonna pop up a little message if you scan the code here. And basically we're gonna connect in Messenger. It's gonna give you access to all my social media platforms that Christine was mentioning at the beginning and more. So, and if you are on your phone, maybe you are on a bench having lunch right now, just screen capture the code and you figure out how to open it later. So let's dive in. So for those of you who don't know me yet, so my mission is really to help women entrepreneurs to unleash their inner rock star online in a way that it feels good and that they can impact as many lives as possible, whether it's at the personal or professional levels, while using, paid traffic. So what I'm going to define what paid traffic is on social media, and organic traffic. So basically organic means free. That means when you write a post, you post it on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, this is called organic. This is something you create And then based on the algorithm, on your community, on the interactions, your history, your behavior on social media, and the behavior of your community, people are gonna see it or not, interact with it or not. That's kind of the organic world. But there are also tools we can use on social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, like most of the social media platforms have advertising tools, right? So I'm going to show you today how you can leverage what we call paid traffic on social media, which is the way that you pay social media platform. We're going to really focus on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger today. So that you can have more people not only seeing your content, but also being able to interact with you and buy from you. So I want this to be fun. So what I'm asking you is that you need to show me some love here. Take a photo of the screen, because this is all what we have right now. We have a screen with faces. A lot of people are just names, but that's okay. Take a photo, and then what about we post it as a story on Instagram, and we make sure we tag the Chamber of Commerce and Social Media Love in English, and whoever you want to tag, so that it's an organic way to promote the chamber, to promote all of you if you want to tag some of the participants here, and to promote myself if you tag me. So that's organic content, okay? In this webinar, I am going to give you a resource. I'm going to put it in the chat box towards the end, and Tanya is going to be sending it as well later on, she told me. So here's a big dilemma on social media. When people approach me, most of entrepreneurs who come to me for the first time, they say, I want a bigger audience. Nobody's seeing my post. Like nothing happens. Like I work so hard, and it seems that it doesn't get the traction that I need. So I'm not going to say that ads going to resolve everything. This is not what I mean. It's actually exactly the contrary. So I'm going to do a mindset reset. Playing the game on social media means that you want to stay on the spotlight. You want to put your business in the spotlight on the marketplace, so that you have an online presence that is consistent, that you can make sure that day after day, people see you. Even if they don't interact with you, they see you. So your job as an entrepreneur marketer is to make sure you stay on the spotlight. And we all know that it's tough to be consistent, showing up, every day on your platform. So kind of today, I'm going to show you a system, the one I use with my clients. And I'm going to even showcasing one of the members of this chamber. I don't know if she's live with us today, but I'm going to show you what we did so that she became from completely unknown to completely booked for her calendar. And this is a story. I love stories, and I would encourage you that no matter what you talk about your business, try to bring a story. This lady that is an amazing rock star came to me and said, hey, Angelique, I have a new business online. And if within 3 months, I don't have that many customers, I'm going to be shut down, basically. Okay, let's bring our brain together. Let's bring contents that you're going to be posting on social media, and then let's add some ads so that we make sure that the right people are seeing it and engage with you and then buy from you. So that's her story I'm going to share, as well as tactics that you can implement right away to your business, whether you're developing a personal brand or a business brand. Okay, so the closed door effect that we have on social media, it's not pleasant because, we work hard at building content, and then when nobody, reacts, it's kind of disappointing. But I want to point out to you that you are here for the long game. Right? It's not after 3 weeks of doing consistent work that it's gonna work. It's a long game strategy, and it requires that you don't get discouraged, that you believe in the success of your business and of yourself right along the path. So you're gonna go from being like down to this. You're going to have a clear roadmap. By the end of this webinar, I really hope I'm going to have opened a few seeds in your head so that you have a plan. That's going to help you bring towards you, like to bring to you raving fans and potentially referrals, because some people don't say a word on social media, but they're watching and they know more than the one who interacts sometimes, right? I am the living example of this. So many of my clients come to me and they're most likely not people who are interacting with my platforms, but they know exactly what I talk about on my platforms. So don't ignore the watchers, okay? People are watching. And then the idea behind ads is that you can even sleep and get new leads to your business because the ad is doing the work for you. And this is how we transform lives and businesses with our social media platforms, which is part of our marketing ecosystem. So let's imagine this. And this is where we're going to the garden. Okay. So first, before we go to the garden, could you tell me in the chat box if you are currently using Facebook ads? Just say yes or no. I want to know if, so yes, Facebook. If you do Instagram, I want to know if you do Instagram as well. Yes, IG, maybe, or no, IG. I just want to have a sense. Christine says yes. Kent, yes. IG, no ads yet for Shona. Yeah, Shona, Melissa, awesome. No ads yet. Okay, so we have a mix. Okay, awesome. So what I'm going to talk to you about today, we have two types. I would say there are two buckets of advertising on social media. There is the advertising campaign that you put in place when you launch a new product or a new service. So this is what I do on a constant basis for one of the biggest organizations I work for. Like, you know, I help them for the last decade. I have been helping them, you know, doing $1 million social media campaigns to bring campaigns to life, right? But you also have another bucket, and this is as important of advertising, where you put in place an advertising machine that keeps you visible. It doesn't sell anything yet, but it keeps your audience on their toes so that when you're ready to go with a sales campaign, they already know you. So they're easier to convert into clients. So the ones I'm going to show you today is the one that I call evergreen campaigns, ongoing campaigns. And they are the ones that most marketers are using before selling anything. So you're going to hear me to say a lot, don't sell. But it's about selling. Don't sell, but sell, okay? So imagine this. Your social media platforms are your garden. So how does it start? It starts with soil, right? So imagine that your Facebook, I actually built 3 boxes in the front of my house here, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna paint a board. I'm gonna name each boxes. One is gonna be Facebook, the other one is gonna be Instagram, and the other one Messenger. Because this is really like a garden box. And you're gonna grow your audiences like you grow your greens. And this is how it works. You first plant the seeds. So how do you plant the seeds? This is actually the foundational part of social media. This is the hardest one. And this is the one that is the most ignored because it requires quite work, but also it requires to revisit the work you've done 6 months ago. So many people jump on social media without exactly knowing who they're talking to, right? So when I work with my clients in what we call the DNA lab, this is exactly a lab where we kind of, as laser focus, we learn who are the people we are talking to. We learn their language, we learn their dream, we learn about their challenges. That's one thing, but we learn about how they express themselves when they're looking for the solution that they're looking for. So no matter what your business is. So I would love to get your energy here. Tell me what type of industry you're part of in the comments so that I can grab examples. If you tell me in which industry you are, or your niche or niche, that's going to help me to give membership. Yeah, membership. That's Christine. Sports. Okay. Membership-based organization. Okay, yeah. Okay, keep going. Photography, marketing, design, real estate. Awesome. Education. Okay. Yeah, awesome. So each of you, you have completely different markets. But what I know for sure is that your audience is looking for a specific solution. And the issue when you are an expert at what you do is that for you, it's very easy to understand what problem your audience has and how you can fix it for them or with them. But most of the time, when your audience approach you, they think they have this problem and they're going to say it in a way that you would not say it as an expert. So I'm going to give you an example. So people, when they reach out to me, for example, they say, Facebook doesn't work. Can you make it work for me? Right? So they think they have a problem with Facebook. But me as an expert, I know that their problem is not here. Their problem is they don't know enough about their ideal clients, right? And once you know more about who you're targeting, then Facebook is less of a problem. It's actually a weapon, right? So your clients right now, study them and see how they express the problem they have, the words they use actually to express that problem or that solution they're looking for. And this is you. This is when you're going to be seeding your plants in your ground. You're going to use exactly that language. You're going to use their words, the way they express what they think is the problem, which in some case it is, but most of the time it is another problem that because they're not the expert, they don't know, right? So you can't know what you don't know. This is why on social media, it's really important, especially with ads and any organic content. When you talk to people, you talk to them at the level of knowledge or of awareness they have right now. Okay? So maybe some people are gonna go to yoga because they feel they're really not flexible. But maybe your mission, because you know you're an expert at yoga, you know that yoga is way more than physical stuff. It's about mental health. It's about, you know, so many more things, spirituality, whatever. Okay. So you have to really study your current clients or potential clients and figure out, you know, how do they speak to you or to people around you on social media, in groups, in comments. How do they speak about what they're looking for in life, whether it's professional level or personal level? And this is when you're going to start seeding. You're going to start putting content that is addressing what they're talking about. And this is when the conversation is going to start. Because if you speak at a higher level to them, they're not going to get you. It's too high-end because you're already at the expert level. You need to bring them from where they are. And it's no judgment or anything. It's just you don't know what you don't know. Okay. And then on social media, you're going to approach them where they are. And then when they're going to buy from you, whether it's a service or a product, you're going to give them the full deal, the full thing that they really need. So that's why you're going to spend a lot of time finding the right words, the right people, the right content. And you're going to test that in your garden, whether it's through images, videos, little questions, little poll. You're going to learn so much about them, and you're going to start seeding content and see what resonates the most. Then once you do that, usually we spend 2 months doing that, at least 2 months in the DNA lab. Then after that, you'd have a DNA. You know exactly my ideal client. Her name is Lisa. And right now she has this problem and her dream is this, and she loves her family. That's what's mattered to her. But she doesn't have time to spend on social media to look for her solution. She wants a all-in inclusive, whatever she's looking for. Like, you know so much about what they want and how they say it, that for you it's going to be so much easier to learn the language they use, and you're going to be testing your content based on that and not the reverse. It's not about you talking at them. It's about you listening to them, than entering into their head and their brain and starting a conversation. Like you were doing if you were going to meet me in a cafe. You would not start and pitch me the full thing about your expertise. You would say, hey, how's it going? You know, are you still working from home? You know, do you have kids? Do you have a dog? You know, like that conversation. This is where you learn about where your typical client is. So those are all my ladies, and I have more than that, but I want to show you faces that we've done that work. Oh, Tammy, I see you here. We've worked together one way or another. And then we discussed that exact question. Who do you talk to before you go anywhere? I'm saying this because I don't want you to spend money in ads and lose and waste your money and your time, right? Those are two things we don't want to waste. So this is the case I want to show you. And you probably know Lynn Terriotega from Access Point Health. So when we started on her social media platform, she was brand new, right? No, she had no audience, and she didn't know how to use content so that it speaks to a potential audience that she would have to kind of attract to her. So remember, marketing is about picking strangers and transform them into a buyer, right? So how do you attract strangers? We're human. So if you do a personal brand, you can, you know, talk about your personal stories. But if you're a business brand, you can still talk about the business stories. Okay? So I don't want you to limit yourself. Oh, I'm not a personal brand. Like you can, everything that I'm talking about here is transferable to a business brand, right? So before you sell anything, people have to fall in love with you. So there is a reason why the name of my company is Social Media Love. If you go on social media and you just like blah, 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 and you don't feel why you do it and why you want to help people, this will show. It will show. It will show and it won't last. So how can you make them fall in love with you? So through conversation and videos. So videos, you all know, videos are, you know, the way to go, whether you do Facebook Live, or Instagram Live, or you record a video. So this is how we started with Lynn. You know, we went through, so she's a nurse practitioner online. So she needs to attract people who, so she, at first she didn't know who is our ideal client. So one of them was like moms that, you know, when your kids are sick, you don't want to go in a car and wait for 4 hours at ER. So we started to talk to moms. We listened how moms are talking about those situations when they're stuck at home with the kids with fever, sleeping. They don't want to wake him up and wait 5 hours at ER. So how does a mom say this? So that's when Lynn started to develop videos about, you know, as a mom and dad, how do you find your work-life balance? We talked about topics that are not about come and see me for a visit. It's like talking about topics that matters to your audience. By showing up every week with a topic that is of importance to your audience, you'll get them to listen to you. And then, so that was videos. Big chunk, one a week. And then the other thing is people love quotes on social media. This is an easy way with quotes to pick up people where they are at without too much struggling about is it advanced, too advanced, not advanced enough for them. So ask people what they think about some of your quotes, and maybe you can showcase images of your business on the quote, like here. Up to you to find that. But those two techniques, and they're, you know, this is just one case here, but I use that technique with all of my clients, and it's and even big organization. This is how you attract, you bring awareness around your topic of expertise through videos by sharing stories and asking people to share their stories about the topic. So whatever you build in terms of social media content, you need to create room for conversation. So if you know that you have a new product or a new service that is coming up, right? Before you tell people, buy it, you need to have a conversation on social media through different type of content. And at the end of this webinar, I'm going to give you a content calendar that going to get you started if that's something you struggle with. And I know it is for a lot of people. What should I be talking about? Everybody has said it all. No, you are you, and nobody else is you. And the way you talk about it, you know, is different. So when I say make room for conversation, make sure that you always end or start or wherever, but as long as you put one, ask your audience what they think. So if you write a post about, you know, the values about your business, or maybe your new hours, or whatever the topic is, make sure that you ask questions so that the reader or the viewer of the video has a chance to feel that they belong to the conversation, that it's just not you talking at them, that they have a say. And people love when we value their opinion, right? When you talk in a group at work, don't you love when someone asks you your opinion, right? So that's the same on social media. So that's an example here. Is what do you do to stay active? Then she kind of share her story around it. And then I don't remember what it says at the end. So I think there is another question here, or she repeats the question, what do you do to stay active? So that's what this has nothing to do with booking an appointment for a health check or a health issue, right? But by talking about topics that matters to your audience and asking them questions, you'll see week after week, there will be some posts that perform better. And those posts are the ones you're gonna transfer from being an organic post to a paid ad. Okay, and I'll talk more about that. So right now we're not selling anything, we're just building conversation. So the idea that in any post that you're doing, whether it's videos or images or memes or GIF or text or just simple status, simple questions, simple survey, you have to inspire your audience. You have to make them shine. It's about them, not about you. So make sure, that's a little thing I want to tell you. You know, I was telling you, your client is probably, your future client is probably not at the level of expertise that you have right now. But never judge them, especially on social media. Never point your finger saying like, you don't know how to eat, buddy. Eh? Never say stuff like that, okay? You say, they always have to be your best star. You have to make them shine authentically. I'm not telling to make it up, right? Remember, they're your clients. I don't know about you, but my clients and my potential audience, they're like my baby. Like right now, I'm nourishing you like my baby because I want the best for you. And I'm sure you do for your client, right? So make them shine. Educate them, because you are a wealth of knowledge. You have tons of knowledge. You probably don't know because you're so in it that you're like, what the heck? Nobody cares about what I talk about. No, no, no. People want to learn more. People are open for learning. So you put that phone on and you do your Facebook Live once a week and you teach me about your sports stuff, about your yoga stuff, about anything, your real estate. How do you pick a house? How do you sell a house? By the way, so that there is some real estate people here, I have like, just reach out to me after, have a mega checklist for Facebook Live ideas for real estate people, if that's of interest. So what is that? What does it do when you inspire people, educate them, inform them, you know, day and weeks after weeks? You build trust. This is why Christine reached out to me and said, hey, come and teach, right? She's been watching. At first, I didn't know Christine. And then guess what? I became a member. You know, it goes both ways, right? But that's by showing up. So show up, show up, show up. Then put your money in your best post so that you keep nourishing the right people. Don't attract the wrong people. By showing up every day, you'll have a better sense of who is interested by your content, so that when you pay Facebook or Instagram, which is the same, then you'll put your money, you'll invest your money in the right audience. And this is where the boom or in French, we say when the mayonnaise takes, right? So building trust, and then you showcase your expertise. Remember, you are the expert, right? And you help them transform with so many posts that are free content for them, right? Before they buy anything. So again, you see at the right here, it says no selling. You don't sell in your content. So this is really the weapon we used. Every week, Lynn had to teach something to those. We started with the mom and families, then she extended her market, but that's, I'm telling you what we did at the beginning. And so once a week, and she still does, because this is what brings, you know, if you educate me every week, it's like giving me food and then you drop me, like, I don't care, I don't have time for you anymore. You can stop. Once you start, you show up, okay? Every week you show up, and then you put money behind those videos so that more people see them. And keep that in mind, because for the end of that workshop, you're going to understand why it's important to show up every week and to maybe take your best video and your best post of the week and put money behind it. I'll tell you why in a minute. So if you don't know what to talk about, here's what you can do. Go back, take 15 minutes, sit down, and go back to the top 5 questions that people are always asking you, and you're tired to answer them because, like, how can I have to explain? Okay, so this is live, and then look at that. When you have your Facebook Live and they're on your Facebook Watch platform, or if you have a YouTube channel, then maybe you just send links to people next time they say, hey, how can you do this, by the way? Or look, I have an amazing video that explains exactly that, and boom, link. Then you don't have to re-explain. Then this is an audience that you're building. People are watching, so you can retarget that. That's for later in a minute. Okay. So, I talked a lot about your garden, planting the seeds. So that's first, know who you're talking to, right? And then after that, you build content for that audience that you have identified it as a DNA, right? And then now you know what works. You know what words makes them tick. You know what content they like the most. Here we go. You have a content plan. You're going to go for the next 90 days. Bang, bang, bang. Then you're going to water your garden. Okay? Because it's hot. Especially right now, your content is hot, right? They love it. So it needs water at night when you sleep. Okay? So the water is your ad. So you're gonna put water in your stories, in your feed on Facebook, on Instagram. You're gonna use your website if you have one, or a blog. You can put your ads on Marketplace. On Messenger, your ads gonna show up in stories or as sponsored posts. You can also put ads in video for in-stream video ads, and there are many more. Like when you do an ad now on Facebook or on Instagram, the last time I counted, and I think it's more now, like there are at least 20 placements where your ad gonna show up. Your ad gonna show up even outside of Facebook. How cool is that? So many people don't know that. It goes outside of Facebook and Instagram. It goes on websites, right? You've probably seen that. You're on the blog, and then suddenly there is a Facebook ad in the middle of the blog, right? So again, you're not selling anything. You're bringing awareness. When you do your ads, you're bringing awareness with your awesome content that you know people are ticking, they like it, right? So you show it to more people. Then what happens after the water? It sprouts, right? So people start to become subscribers or become fans. Maybe they're gonna tell their friends, hey, I discovered that page, it's really cool, or that Instagram account, okay? And then when you do that, you are building, and this is where I don't want you to freak out. It's okay, it's just jargon. It's called custom audiences. And this is where, when you do ads, this is where everything makes sense. Here we go. Facebook gives you a tool that allows you to send ads to people who've been watching your videos for the last year, for the last 3 months, for the last whatever number of days you want to put in the schedule. Like you can go back to a long time. Usually I use 90 days. It depends on the goal of your ad, but you can retarget all the people who've been watching your videos, right? So just imagine this. This is why you need to show up consistently, because if you want people to be able to be retargeting them, you have to build that momentum by producing, generating content that is amazing for your audience. Facebook allows you many things, but I'm just kind of making the highlights here, right? If you need to know the details, we would need more time than that. Facebook gives you chances to retarget anybody who's engaging with your Facebook page and your Instagram account. So if they interact, which means like, comment, or share, or just watch, or just put their finger in the image, that counts like interactions, engagement. So you can retarget anybody who had an interaction with your accounts. And then the graal, the gold, is anybody who is browsing your website, even the landing page. If you don't have a website, you just have maybe landing pages or a blog, you can retarget anybody who's spending time checking your website. Because Facebook gives you a tool that we call the pixel to put on your website so that you can send them more content, right? So that's called custom audiences. And there are other type of custom audiences. I'm just making it simple. There are another tool that is we call the lookalike audiences. So that's when, for example, you have maybe an amazing market in Canada. You sell your stuff in Canada, and you have a good community in Canada, and then you tell Facebook, those people are my people in Canada. I want you to find the same type of people in the US or in the UK or wherever. Like you match another geolocation. And then Facebook, based on the behavior of your current community and based on the interest and the targeting that you put in the ad machine, gonna find exactly what you want. And this is huge. This is where it gets exponential. And then there are other types of ads. And when you start, you might start there. It depends what's your market. Usually I like to start with a video to test the water and go with the cold audiences. Cold audiences, people have no clue who you are, right? And you're gonna tell Facebook, oh, this is really a video for moms who have kids and work from home in Canada or in Fredericton, right? So you give that, you give specific targeting criteria to Facebook, and Facebook gonna send it to those people. That's cold audiences. So cold audiences, they're good. I mean, when you start, you have to start somewhere. But the best one are the one you nourish week after week, because we call them warm. They're cheaper because people know you, and Facebook knows that they've been interacting with your content. So it's a little cheaper usually. And then it goes faster to grow. So you need both. It's a tactical both. But what I mean by this is like show up on social media and use, your ads to keep, nourishing your audience that is already know you through custom audiences. And then when you want to reach new people, then you can go with cold audiences. Then once you've done that, you can sell, right? So you have your full stranger, the cold audiences, then you have your videos that are touching people that know you. They went to your website, they've been watching your video, they've been interacting with your content week after week, especially if you put ads behind that content that people they like, then your audience is ready to buy from you. So when we say buy, it could be like buying a product, and put money in PayPal. But it could be also a conversion that we call, maybe they're ready to give you an email. That's a conversion. Maybe they're ready to go to a Facebook group that this is where you do most of your sales, right? So you have to figure out what is selling for you, right? Or conversion. So you have the hard sale that is like, okay, I buy it, I pay, buy. Or is it like the next step in your ecosystem. Once now I was a stranger, then I watch your video, kind of like it. Oh, I'm ready to give you my email in exchange of something. You give me a free tool like I'm doing today with you guys. I'm gonna give you a free tool in exchange of an email, right? And then after that, I'm gonna nourish you week after week with amazing content so that when I have a new product to buy or to sell, a new service, you know where I come from. You know, it won't be like, who's that girl, right? That's how it works. So that's why it takes a lot of nourishment in your fertilizer, in your ground. Okay, so this is what we, so maybe after 2 months of cultivating the ground, the soil, topsoil, and watering, the audience grew. And they were ready to hear about, you know, what Lynn had to sell or what solution she was offering to them. For other moms who couldn't, you know, drive 2 hours to go to Fredericton, for example, with all the kids sleeping in the house because something happened, then she was the online solution for those moms. So this is when you build specific ads that are sales ad. So you use different targeting, you can optimization, we call this, you know, some are called traffic ads, some are conversion ads. It depends of, you know, what is the goal of your campaign. So these are examples, right, of ads that we did. So that's how it works. I'm gonna recap everything. Here on the left corner, you have your garden with the nice greens, right? So what you do is you're gonna be taking, you know, those greens and you're gonna continue conversation around the table. You're gonna eat the greens together, share and comment and interact, and then everybody's having fun, everybody's getting a lot of value from you, and then they want more. Like they want to go further. They want to buy your best products. They want to buy your best service. So number 3 is that you're gonna harvest them and that you're gonna collect, you know, generate revenue for your business, right? So you grow your business with your audience. When I say the money is in the audience, this is what I mean. The money, the nutrients are in the garden, right? No cash, no business, right? So it's the same. No veggies in the garden, no food on the table, right? So how to use social media ads in a way that feels good? It's number 1, to grow your audience. Number 2, to nourish it, to feed it. So it's, you know, like you go after strangers. When they come in your social ecosystem, you're gonna nourish them so that you show them that they came for a reason. You are here for them. You have their back. You're gonna educate them, inform them, give them stuff for free. And then after that, when they're mature enough in the relationship with trust you, then they're gonna buy from you. You're gonna sell them the solution. But for this, especially if you don't have a huge budget for ads, you have to keep showing up organically, consistently, and then use your budget for specific type of post, the one you know they want to see more. So I'm going to put right away, before I forget, the link. Give me a second. Where did I put it? The link. It's right there. I'm going to put it in the chat box. And Tanya, because, you know, I know and I completely recognize that it's hard for most of us to have content to showcase every day. So this is a little calendar that I give people who, you know, really want to make a difference in terms of building an audience. So what I do is we start with simple calendar, so you can grab it at any time. And if, you know, if anything that I told you today, especially about identifying who is your audience, if that's something you feel that it's time for your business to really tackle, just reach out to me and I could, you know, have a chat with you in terms of figuring out where you are at in terms of social media presence. And maybe I could offer you a service that I do for my client that could work for you. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. I hope you actually screen capture or open the little QR code I gave you at the beginning. Okay, so the link, and then that's a QR code. So if you want to have a chat with me if that speaks to you, what I was explaining, you just contact me by email or using the little social media love QR code. I would love to help you. And I would love to take your questions now, because I'm sure you have questions. I'm just gonna stop sharing, maybe screen capture my email if you want before I remove it. Here we go. I'm gonna stop sharing. And I'm open to questions. I know it was a lot.
Because I've unmuted myself, I'm just going to ask this because I'm too lazy to type it. How much money, and I know it's subjective and you may not be able to truly pin down, but how much money do you think the average business should spend a year on Facebook advertising? Because I know when I've done it, it's pretty inexpensive. And I often wonder, you know, like, is $400 or $500, would that do it? Or do we need more? Like, and I'm talking just general, like if I'm not trying to do a full, like a specific campaign, but just kind of like sometimes when I do my budgets every year, Angelique, I'm just really not sure what makes the most sense. Is that something you can even answer? I don't know.
Yeah. Except that there is not one formula for everybody, but I'm going to give you a few points that are going to help you.
Okay.
The first thing is that you have to think in terms of what type of ongoing advertising budget do I need?
Right.
And what type of special campaign type of budget do I need?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it has to feel comfortable. Like, don't spend money on Facebook if you can't eat with your family, right?
Right. Sure.
Because the beauty of social media is that you can still do the work just by showing up.
Sure.
Of course, if you add some ads, it's gonna go faster. So the bigger the amount, as long as you know exactly what you're doing, it's gonna be faster, right? With so the example I gave with Lynn, we had to be fast, right? Because it was a question of almost life and death.
Yeah. She really needed to get the ball rolling.
If you are just starting and you want to grow those gardens of audiences, I would, you know, and if you have a local market, I would test. So I would test at least one video a week and maybe your best post of the week. And I would put up to $5 behind it.
Yeah.
Every single week until you have a sense that this is really my audience. Because that's one thing I didn't talk about is like, you learn so much about your audience when you launch ads.
Right.
You learn so much. You fine tune everything up to a point that you know them by heart. Like, you know them, you speak their language, and like people can't believe that you understand them so well because you've been testing with small pockets of money those ads, right? So even for the thousands of people that we have in where I work at the Department of Tourism, we had to start with small buckets of people. Mm-hmm. And then you're gonna get the confidence that this is my people. Right. Oh my God, look at that. With $5, I doubled the number of traffic on my website. Well, let's put more money there. This is where the money should go. Like, use your, especially if you start to be systematic with your organic content to transfer it into ads, you're going to learn so much. You're going to get the confidence that you're going in the right direction. So you won't see this as a spending item, but like an investment.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? So start small and double down on what works.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. I see Tanya's asking, what are your thoughts on using subtitles on video versus not using them?
So for this one, it's just a behavior thing. People don't tap on the video to listen unless, you know, they're really attracted by it. We know that I think it's up to 80% people don't watch videos with listening to them, but just by reading.
Yes.
When they tap to listen is that they like, you got their attention. So that's why when you do a video, the very first frames are really important because this is when they're going to decide if they're going to keep reading the words or go away. And then maybe eventually they'll tap and listen, right? So yeah, I would put subtitles. So Facebook gives you the tool for that. Don't wait to be perfect. Facebook sometimes don't do it very well, but who cares? If it's better than nothing, right? If not, if you want to be the perfect person, which I don't encourage you to do, you have other things to do than being perfect, just go to rev.com, rev.com. I can put that here. It's $1 per minute. And then they're going to give you, oh, I just wrote to you, Tanya. Maybe you can put to everybody. Sorry. Rev.com going to kind of transcribe your full video as an SRT file, which is the audio video that goes in a video file. And then you can tweak it and then upload it to your Facebook or YouTube.
Perfect. Okay, that's awesome. I hadn't heard of it. Maybe others have, but I hadn't. So that's great.
And there are other tools. That's the one I like to use. They're fast. Within an hour, you got it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Are there other questions? If you feel more comfortable unmuting and asking,
I would love to talk.
I mean, there's 16 of us on the call, so I think that's okay, Tanya. Is that all right to do that? Yeah, Tanya's shaking her head yes. So
yeah, of course. If anybody just wants to unmute themselves to ask their questions, go right ahead. You can still use the chat if you're feeling a little shy.
No.
So among the people who had did some ads, who did we have? Shauna and Melissa, would love to hear from you. What's your experience with ads? I don't know if Shauna is still here. And Melissa? Yeah, they're here.
Yeah, it's Shauna.
Hi, Shauna.
Hi, I'm at the university and I'm just starting to help a team who is marketing. So I'm in that group right now. So it's all new to me, but they've been doing it for a long time. So I thought I better get on here and learn something because I don't know what any of the terminology is. But so I'm starting to learn how to do an ad. And it's for any of the continuing education offerings that we have in a really broad range of topics from autism to credit programs for all kinds of courses the university puts on. So that kind of is what we're doing. And this has been great. It's helping me understand the content, what to say, and when to say it. And I just love seeing the examples of the videos that you had done for Lynn, just with the questions that she had. And so I thought that was really helpful.
Thank you for sharing your feedback. Something that I want to spend time, because we know it's working a lot. It's people love to hear testimonials. So starting today, I would encourage any of you, when you have a client, to ask them for a video testimonial. Within 1 minute, take your phone and tell us how, what did you expect about my service and my product? What happened that you didn't expect? And what would you say to someone who's hesitating to purchase this service or purchase this course or purchase this product? Those videos are amazing ads for your ongoing, like you'll see in the calendar I give you, there is 1 day a week dedicated to testimonials. So you have that video, you share it, and you can even repurpose the video as a quote, as an image of your clients with a text, like you can use it in 3 or 4 or 5 formats, but use testimonial videos. They make such a difference because it's not you telling your audience how cool you are and your product is or your service is. It's someone you transformed their life already, and they're like, they can't believe that it did that. So that's very powerful for your audience. So don't underestimate the power of testimonial, and don't be scared to ask for it. Ask for it. Oh, I'm gonna give you a challenge. For those of you want to take the phone after we're done and tell me how it felt to be attending this webinar at the Chamber with Social Media Love. What was your expectation? What came up to mind during the live that you did, the webinar that you didn't know that you would experience? And what is the one thing you're going to implement? And then put it on your social or send it to me or the Chamber and we're going to share it for you. Tagging your business and everything. Bang, bang, bang. Organic love.
Awesome.
That simple stuff like that. I ask you. Some people are saying, well, why does she believe I have time for a video? Well, that's okay. You don't have time. It's okay. I love you still. But like, you know, taking the time to ask the people who love what you give them, ask them a little video testimonial.
We've got a question here. Kent is asking, is there any distinction or benefit to be made from Facebook ads versus boosted posts?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I love that question. Okay. So the only thing that I want to say, don't think that I am against the blue button for the boost, okay? So I need to say that. But the other thing I need to say is that so many entrepreneurs use only the blue button. And so it's kind of like wasting opportunities. Here's what I'm saying. I find that using the blue button is awesome when you are in a rush and you really have to get the ad going, or if you already did your homework in the back end of the advertising machine that we call Ads Manager. So there is a tool for Facebook, Instagram, Messenger that is called Ads Manager. Okay, and Ads Manager allows you to segment and build specific buckets of audiences based on interest, geolocation, demographic, people who watch your video, people who browse your website. You have those buckets of audiences. When I work with clients, we never launch an ad without having minimum 5 audiences. Why this? It's because you need to test which one of your audiences resonate the best to that ad, so that you have a sense of where you should be spending your money. So after a month of doing this, you're gonna end up probably with at least 10, let's say 10, maybe 5 audiences that you know they are the right audiences. Then you can use the blue button. Because when you push the blue button, it gives you access to the one you built in your ads manager, so that if you don't have time to go in your ad manager and to do the official campaign, then it's okay, because the blue button gonna give you actually access to those audiences you had built in the machine. Now, if you don't have time and you really have to have an ad going, use the blue button, because Facebook is good at giving you good insights based on behavior, but don't use that in the long term unless you've done the homework I told you. This is exactly actually what we do with my clients. We build those audiences. And then after that, you can access them with the blue button. I hope it answers the question.
Perfect. Anybody have any further questions? No? All right, well, it's now 2 o'clock and I'm cognizant of everyone's time. I want to thank you all for attending, and also very much, Angelique, thank you once again for sharing your wisdom with us all. And if you have further questions or you're looking for services, Angelique is available. And yeah, so anything else, please reach out, folks, and we'll see you hopefully sometime soon.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.